Finally, I have been able to cough up enough interest from the top prospect in the nation, the number one outside linebacker, Oscar St. John. And I'm able to finally offer him a scholarship, so I have to wait and find out if he's going to commit to our school. Now, I took a look at the interior defensive linemen on our team, the D tackles, and trying to see who I need to boost up. This freshman right here, Richard Myers, is our second best D tackle. I mean, he's solid, but I'm looking forward to seeing him dominate next season. So I went ahead and start to boost up his ratings a little bit. And we're going to be losing Winston M. Hoff as he is our senior D tackle at a 92 overall. Now, what's crazy is that I ran a 3-4 defense this season, and I'm looking forward to changing up our defensive scheme to a 4-3 next season. So, might as well go ahead and boost up a little bit of Richard Myers as he already has some dominating ratings as a freshman. So, I was kind of glad to find out there is a few freshman players on my team that, are decently already good, but I can make them better heading into next season, which is going to be a big help heading into next season in certain areas. So, recruiting wise, we was able to pick up some players and some key players, and hopefully we're able to land that number one top prospect in the nation, the outside linebacker that we desperately need. So you take a look at my current coach. Now he has 100 scouting, 95 player development, which these was the two things I was focused on, making sure that, if I'm doing a rebuild team, I want to make sure that rebuilding a team is going to be a little bit more easier year in and year out. So I wanted a head coach that really had a dominant rating in those two categories. Now, taking a look at everything else. Our offensive playbook was pass heavy. We didn't really pass starting out the season. We kind of try to balance everything out, but then we kind of focus around the ground game for the most part. And we kind of upgraded our running backs at the start of the season and throughout the season. So I will be changing this to kind of like a balanced offense heading into next season as we try to establish balance on both sides instead of dominate one or the other. And once again, defensive playbook was a 3-4 defense aggressive, and I'll end up changing that to a 4-3 next season. And then the simulation for the CPU to do recruiting for me, I just wanted to test that out how it would work throughout the season. So we had the number one priority to focus on high ranking prospects, and so far we're looking at the top player in the nation and the number one outside linebacker. So we're going to find out if we're going to be able to pull him. And then second priority is team needs. So position players that we're going to be losing for next season. Try to focus on trying to rebuild those areas. And then number three priority is the local prospects. This may change heading into next season. But when you take a look at the other information for the ratings for my coach, reputation is 68, not the greatest. Stability 86, that's pretty high. But the consistency of success is 50. Now we started out the season pretty good. And then as we start to play more of our conference games, especially the top teams that is in our conference, well, you guys seen the results of those matches. Pretty much got cooked. And then as we had that downfall, we kind of got back into the groove as we face a little bit worse teams, get the wins back up, and we're kind of balanced right now. We're at 50, but we want to get that above 50. But it's great to see that we're not under 50 so far. We just got to see what we can do heading into next season. Now, for this final week matchup is the deal breaker between if we're going to be able to have a conference game and get into the playoffs or not. So based off what you guys see so far from just the coaching aspect for the ratings, and after all the player improvements I've done throughout the season, I wanted to see how my team would do up to this point, because when you simulate the matches, you really get to learn if your team has actually improved, especially certain individual players as well. So we're going to be facing the number 2, 72 ranked Kent Bobcats. They have an 85 overall team, an 88 defense, and an 81 offense. So this team, they are pretty terrible, but from the ratings so far, they're kind of up to par with us in a way. So they're not no easy landslide game to get by, nor are they either going to be a dominant team that's going to pretty much destroy us, as they are currently 5-6 of the season. But I was going to wait until if I did make it to the playoffs to see how my team would literally do based off spectating just a simulation match between both CPU. But I wanted to see how I done so far, as this is the last game of the season. Pretty much a evaluation of myself. Was I able to correct and improve certain areas of the team and players to actually help out my team finish strong and do decently? And this match is really going to showcase of where certain individual players are at and certain areas of positions we are at. But we all know I do have an extremely young team, and I'm going to be losing a lot of top players that are seniors due to next season, which I won't have. So we're kind of like in a rebuilding stage as well, because this is a rebuild team. So, I mean, you guys have seen what has been going on throughout the season. So, we get first possession of the game, and you guys see that we're trying to get a balanced offensive going. A little bit of passing, a little bit of running. But right here, 3rd and 10, our freshman talented quarterback makes a blind read. Throughout the games that I did test when it came to simulation and spectating our team, this is one thing I need to heavily go back and improve on, especially heading into next season. Our freshman quarterback is talented, but he does tend to make a lot of bad decision making. So I have to get his awareness IQ up. And, once I get that going, he's going to be dominant heading into next season, because the skill attributes that he has, that is very high as a freshman. Now, throughout this game, you guys are going to witness probably one of the best quarterbacks I have seen so far throughout the season. And this is a hidden gem player, especially on a somewhat bad but decent team. The things that he does in this game is extremely mind blowing, especially when it comes to decision making compared to our quarterback. And like I said, the highlights is going to showcase for itself throughout this match. As they end up getting first points of the game with their first possession, you guys just see that right here, freshman quarterback is not making the best of decisions. And in comparison, once again, you guys are going to see how well Bobcats quarterback is going to do throughout this game. I mean, right here, he's avoiding pressure, taking off when need be. But the biggest difference is that, you know, our defense, we really couldn't get pressure this game. As right here, we got lucky on the punt, got a fumble, and we was able to pick up massive yards off the fumble recovery. And then because of that, we did have great coverage defense. It's just the quarterback had so much time for Bobcats. He was able to end up taking off and making a pretty much busted play into something. And that was the big difference in this game. As right here, we're doing a little bit better at running the ball as we improved our freshman running back over time. And another thing is that once we got into the red zone, is like I feel like the play calling from our coach just was not great. But then also decision making in the red zone, like we should have scored easily right here, but we was able to get 3 points out of it. And like I said, when you watch these type of games and simulate, you really get a great kind of coaching aspect and learning more about your team. And that's what I like about this during especially dynasty and rebuilding your team. Maximum Football just made this so well. As you guys see right here, so much time. We have clamp coverage and then quarterback, because he has the time that he has, he's able to get through and take off for yards. Now, granted, we're running 3-4 defense, so that freshman D tackle that pretty much improved, he's not alongside that 92 overall senior D tackle that we have. And for some reason, we just couldn't get any type of pressure. Even looking at the blitz schemes that we was trying to draw up, Bobcats' offensive line was just able to protect the quarterback. But also, the quarterback that we was facing as an athlete, he took off when need be, and man, did he pick up yards. So that was a killer for us, trying to contain him. But I mean, gotta give props to our defensive coverage. I mean, we played very well, but Bobcats offensive line just gave a lot of time for the quarterback to make reads. And when he did make quick reads based off our defensive look, I mean, he connects with his receivers. I mean, this was a very well talented hidden gem quarterback that I'm witnessing in this match. So it's 14-3. We're down. We're trying to make plays. So right before halftime, I figured we're not going to get downfield quickly. So I mean, they pretty much locked us up. And that's it for the first half. As the second half, they kick things off with the first possession. And, they was keeping balance, but when it came down to passing, it's just like, man, we send heat, but yet the quarterback would take off. Like, that was the big difference between the quarterbacks. Now, our quarterback, he does have a little bit of speed, but it's the decision making once again. The IQ I have to boost. And I'm unsure of this quarterback's ratings, but man, I feel like I was playing against Michael Vick or Cam Newton or Lamar Jackson. It's ridiculous. Now, our special teams was making plays. I mean, I thought this was going to be a punt return touchdown. And the fact that we had two attempts in the red zone and we're unable to punch it in is devastating. So, like I said, I feel like the play calling from a coach did not play the or pick the correct plays in this scenario. But then it's like at the same time, we couldn't even punch it in. Right here, a quarterback tries to take off. He runs into traffic and gets stuffed. So this was disappointing as, they hold us to yet another field goal. Now, the good thing is our kicker is able to get points on the board. So it's great that he's able to knock these down instead of blatantly missing it. So back to the Bobcats offense. Like our defense, we were just getting killed with the run game. We couldn't stop it. So this is what I'm looking forward to when we get that top linebacker. Hopefully, he would definitely set the edge and keep outside runs contained. Right here, I feel like we had an interception opportunity. There's a bunch of times throughout this match that we have our DBs in the right spot. It's just they swat the ball a lot more compared to picking it off. But we do get some picks then and there. 3rd and 10, they need first down pickup, and they hit us right down the middle. Very devastating as we are currently in the 4th quarter of the game. So, they're killing us on 3rd downs. They're able to pick it up. We can't get off the field on defense, and, you know, we're just struggling. And this quarterback is getting lucky. Right here was a tip drill. Um, as we bat the ball down, I feel like we should have had another pick, but we knock it into their hands. As you guys see right here, just they had the player in the right spot at the right time. So continue on. I mean, look at this. Look at the blocking on that play. Quarterback works the pocket, and then don't see nothing open. He's going to take off. And it seemed like we didn't have anybody containing as bad as we was trying to send pressure. I mean, you guys see a delay pressure right there. But look at that. And then just takes off. It it was blowing my mind to see how good this quarterback was in making his reads. So I feel like we was just getting beat by this quarterback. Even though he threw blind reads, we couldn't capitalize on defense. This was devastating to me because we should have had so much picks. Like right here, I feel like we should have picked, but it's understandable based off decision making for my DBs to make, the reactions the way that they do. 3rd and goal, we have a chance to stop them, and we're able to bat the ball down. So good. We're able to hold them to yet a field goal. We still have somewhat of a chance. So they end up knocking it down, and now here is our chance to kind of get closer, and then all we need is just one stop and then try to score once again. As there's about 3 minutes left, and our quarterback, he was just throwing it short. I don't know what he was doing. Um, I mean, yeah, he was throwing it quick as we end up getting a first down pickup right there. But, you know, this is where he starts to shine for some odd reason. Like, as he played terrible throughout the game, he starts to pick it up. Right here, it takes off for a big rushing pickup. But you guys going to see that, he does have a little bit of flash when it comes to decision making and getting us downfield. So I know what he's capable of. As right here, he finds an open receiver. If he just hit him in stride, that probably would have been a touchdown to our hands receiver that we improved. Like I said, the last couple of times I watched them, the quarterback likes to connect with number 7. And earlier on, you guys seen that he dropped a lot of passes, and now he's catching a lot more passes as we improve that rating. Then we have a big play once again on the wheel route. I feel like we should have scored off of this, but they had DB right there just to stop us. And then back to the red zone. This is where I feel like our coaching just picked bad plays as we got blasted right there. Forced fumble happens as the quarterback tries to throw, gets hit, fumble happens. Look at him. He gets absolutely annihilated. But for some reason, like I said, the coaching, I feel like it blew the game. They call a run play right here, up the middle. We get stuffed. Third and goal. We need some points. We have no more timeouts. And then we throw a terrible short pass. And then this is the worst play call right here. Fourth and goal. We're doing a halfback draw. Like, what? What are we doing? So that was kind of devastating to witness that play call situation, that area. And then they pretty much just ran out the time and sealed the deal. And what's devastating is that, come to find out, we needed that win because that win kind of takes us out from the conference championship. So, you guys are going to see the conference games for the conference championship matches that's going to go down. But here's the recap for the final week of our year 1 season. And check it out. Jackals is going to lose their third game. So, as I've been preaching them all season long, Jackals have been dominating. And then I guess they play tough teams or tougher opponents who pretty much upset them. And then they just kind of went downhill. So, it's kind of shocking to see, kind of like the same results with my team. We started off good and then play top teams and we just got annihilated. Now I'm interested if this is like the same concept of what college football is doing with their playoffs and all that. I'm not sure if I'm still going to be able to make it in, but I highly doubt it because, I'm not on the schedule for the conference game. So I'm gonna showcase the schedule. But before I do so, gotta show you guys the current records, who are the last remaining undefeated teams. And this was shocking to witness. Um, so as we take a look at the rankings right here, there's only two undefeated teams, and that's the Generals and the Paso Express, which is shocking. But we ended up dropping all the way down to rank 20 after that loss. So, like I said, I'm not sure how this format is going to look like, and I highly doubt that we're in, but you never know. But it's interesting to just see how it's going to go down. Anyways, for the conference games that you guys see right here, I'm able to witness probably one or two matches. I'm not sure how it's formatted because it pops up, a variety of teams every time I go into the conference games, and I want to watch certain individual games that's going to be looking interesting to actually witness. And I just want to see how these teams play. I want to see how dominant they are, especially the undefeated teams. So hopefully I can watch all the games instead of watching one and then it sims the rest. Hopefully that's not the case, but we're going to find out and see what we're able to watch and things of that sort. So comment down below and let me know what match are you interested in mostly seeing. I want to see how the El Paso Express, the number 2 ranked team, plays against the number 8 team, Birmingham State Spikes, as well the number 1 ranked team, Generals. I'm shocked that the Jackals, the ranked 21 team, got in there when they lost 3 straight games, but the State Rams and Jackals was dominant beginning of the season. But yeah, hopefully I can spectate more than just one match, and hopefully the other matches don't get simulated. But leave a comment down below which one you want to see, and hopefully I can get all the matches that you guys want to see as well, the ones I want to see, into one video. But other than that, subscribe to witness the series, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.